Runway music plays. Woman's voice. Lebensmittel. Waffen. Qualität. Musik. Dance. Modernismus. Napa has some of the finest restaurants in all the country, and yet, on any given day, it can be so difficult to find a quality waffle.
And on any given night, you can dine, you can drink, but it's so hard to find a place where you can dance. And on any given night where there is a DJ rarely hired, the young hip crowd is finding a tough time being satisfied with the Billboard Top 40 hits.
Solution?
Welcome to DieWafflehaus, a new restaurant ready to capture the appetites and attention of the new visitors and locals of Napa.
DieWafflehaus is a German-themed restaurant and nightclub that specializes in waffles and Germanic modern art. By day, we are a restaurant seating between 60 and 80 people.
But by night, we become a dance floor, putting away most of our tables, but leaving in for bar seating and booth seating for those who want to eat late at night, while serving for a dance floor with hip Euro rave music.
Who are we?
So, die Waffelgarde, our team. So, I'm Anthony Dudum. I have a family history with working with building with tenants and building up restaurants. I have experience with designing menus and such, so I would take the role of understanding what meals are capturing our audience and what they are interested in most.
I'm Gianni Magna, a radical leftist and psychonaut messiah. I have past work experience in food preparation, and I've been immersed in the fine dining industry through family connections my entire life. I'd like to take command of kitchen management and audiovisual curation in the Waffle House. Now, at the moment, Napa doesn't cater specifically towards a Germanic, East European, or even North European palate, but we see that they also, in the nightlife of Napa, don't cater to any visitors under the age of 21. But we've seen in other towns in the South Bay that Germanic, East European, Indo-Pan-Germanic, to be more general, venues actually are very well received, such as the Polish delis in the South Bay. Now, in our own design scheme, we want to avoid the earthy tones that you see too often in Napa. You look at Morimoto's, for example, they go for a very much lounge, modernist atmosphere, but still rely on wood tones in order to conform to Napa's aesthetic, and we would be taking the complete opposite direction. So think more along the lines of melted than Celadon, but still maintaining the fine dining element that Celadon would provide, if you've been to either of those.
And after interviewing over 100 people walking the streets of Napa Valley, walking the streets of the riverfront area where most people who walk there are generally eating out, dining late at night, we found that they are very interested for a new, different kind of restaurant rather than what's very custom to Napa. And we would spread our ideas through channel marketing by inviting our neighboring businesses, whether it's a nail shop or a clothing shop or another restaurant, to come in to, we'll set a deal where we endorse them, they endorse us, so that the tourists in Napa, because they don't know the entire schedule of where they're going to go, so they'll recommend them, we'll recommend us.
You find that a lot of tourists in Napa tend to take a sort of circuit theory approach where whenever they finish their dinner, as late in the night goes, they ask their server, they ask the manager of the place, where do I go from here? Where can I get drinks? Where can I listen to music? And they often don't have an answer. We'd be addressing a time slot that often isn't addressed in Napa, the beyond 10:30 crowd, which there is definitely a demand for because people want to go out drinking after they eat when they visit Napa, or wine tasting.
So our location idea currently is for the new Archer building that's going to be in downtown Napa. We would install serious soundproofing for this installation. We would, because a lot of new restaurants, especially in San Francisco, that are trying to be trendy, go for a very minimalist look, but they leave very, very plain walls where sound just doesn't get absorbed at all. So we're looking at soundproofed windows, adding the custom spiked soundproofing cushions on the ceiling, as well as within the walls.
And though we would have a glass storefront by day, we would have thermal curtains to fold over it on the already soundproof glass to address that concern before it comes up. We're opening the floor to questions now.
So you guys are good?
Yes.
Okay.